This episode of Star Wars Republic is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Republic, our show here on Patreon, where we talk about everything in the world of Star Wars. So, our episode this time is about Chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, but we really can't call it that, man. It's called the Book of Mando.
No, I would call it more Mando Season 3 preview.
Yeah, exactly.
Or episode 0.
Right, exactly. So anyway, I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of Burlyman Gaming. We're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 5, called The Return of the Mandalorian, which the whole episode was based on Mando. So we're going to be talking about that. Let's just get right into it, man. I mean, it's weird how this series is going, and we'll talk about that more later as we finish this episode. But I mean, I thought we were at least going to get a little bit of Boba Fett in this episode, but we get zero. We get nothing. Yeah, we get Finnick at the end, and we'll talk about that. But I mean, the whole episode was, I was really excited though, and I have to say, this was a great episode. But it wasn't a great episode of the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it starts off, we see this kind of like meat factory on this. It reminded me of Halo.
But after you get out of the meat factory, it reminds you of Halo because the whole ring. But you get the dog people.
The dog people, let's call them. Yeah, I wanted to call them that. Yeah.
I knew you would be okay with that.
Yeah.
The dog people, and it looks like it's one of the guys that was at Boba Fett's meeting. You remember when he had the meeting with all the crime lords and stuff, and
right?
Everyone.
It looked like him, yeah.
Yeah. So you're thinking, oh, okay, he's going to be here. He's going to meet with someone,
right?
But then, nope, you see the Mandalorian walk in, and it's like,
yep.
Oh, so maybe he's going to come. He's either Boba's contacted him, or it just coincidence or something,
right?
And then Mando kills all the people in that room to collect a bounty.
Yeah. So I just want to say this for all our patrons, everybody on Patreon. Obviously, all of our episodes in Star Wars Republic here, when we talk about the Book of Boba Fett or the Book of Mando, they're all spoiler related. So, and it'll be in the title description as well. So you guys know the drill. I mean, we're going to be talking spoilers throughout this episode. So anyway. Yeah, Burly. So, he walks in, he comes into this meat factory, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, here we go. And it's like I thought he wasn't going to come into the series until and we talked about this, probably chapter 6 or something like that. Yeah. But no, boom, right at the beginning of the episode, he walks in.
I told you there's a good chance he may come in next episode. You can't set that noise and not bring him.
Yeah. So anyway, he gets in there, and then, of course, he goes up to the guy, and it reminds me of the very first episode of The Mandalorian when he puts that thing on the table, and it flashes the face, and it's like, dude, it's you, and then he's like, basically his typical line as a bounty hunter, I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold. And then the fight ensues, and he just he pops out that dark saber, man. And what did you think of that part?
Yeah. I kind of forgot about the dark saber, and it was interesting to see. And you can tell when he's using it, he is not used to using this weapon,
Right.
and
Right.
and he's getting hurt because he's not used to it. And it's like, dude, use your knife. Use your knife. As
Yeah.
much as it cool is to use the dark saber, you're in a fight. They're biting you. They're hitting you, and you
Yeah.
slap. You hurt. You're burnt yourself with the dark saber. Use the
Right.
fucking knife. Shank them.
Right. But eventually he wins and he chops the guy in half. And then it's like,
Yeah.
then, off scene, you can't see him, but he like cuts the guy's head off and puts it in a bag and comes outside and then tells all the other dogs out there, we'll just call them dogs, Burly. Yeah, the dog faces. It's like, there's a bunch of Republic credits in there. I just killed your boss, but hey, you can go and collect all of those Republic credits, and
Well, you just see it on like, because you can't see his face, but he's going out there. He's like, I don't want to fight 20 more people after I've injured myself.
right.
He's just, he's more like, okay, how do I best get that? Hey, I left all the money there. You let me
Yeah.
pass. Take the money. I have no claim to it. You guys have a
Right.
claim.
Exactly.
That you just see them look around, and then one of them starts going in, and then like they all start running in. They're like, free money.
Yeah.
And he's
Free
like,
money.
okay. And then he walks out, and then we see it's like a halo ring.
Yeah, it looks so
So
much like a Halo ring, but it's like some kind of space station. Yeah. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it gave me all these Halo vibes. I mean, I was waiting for Master Chief to pop out or something. So,
Or I thought you'd be waiting for
yeah.
the music there, or Phil Spencer to show up in the background somewhere.
Yeah, he would have some cameo appearance or something like that. Yeah. So
Or an
anyway,
ad
he
for Game
goes
Pass.
right. So yeah, like a Game Pass logo on there or something. Yeah. But anyway, so all of you that don't know what we're referring to, obviously it's a video game related, of course, and Microsoft's had a lot of big news recently. But we'll save that kind of talk for our gaming shows. But anyway, yeah. So he goes and he delivers the head to the person who I guess put the bounty up, and he wants information about where he can find the other Mandalorians that are in like their kind of like hiding space or something like that. So he wants to know where they are, and finally he gets that information, and then he goes and he meets up with the armorer, from season 1 and into season 2, and of course, the armorer and the other Mandalorian guy that was there, they are traditionalists, of course. They never take their helmets off. They are kind of these religious zealots that they believe in the old ways of the old traditions of Mandalore from, like over 1,000 years ago. And so of course, Mandalorian gets his leg, taken care of, and then, the one guy takes the dark saber and gives it to the the
Armor.
armorer. Yeah, and then the armorer starts telling the tale, of course, of the person who wields the dark saber can rule Mandalore, as long as they had won it through combat and everything. And yeah, the guy that was with the armor, his name's Pez Vizsla, I think his name Pez Vizsla, and his descendant from like 1,000 years ago had actually forged that dark saber, and of course later on, of course he challenges Mando for that dark saber, but we see Mando give his Veskar spear to the armorer. And of course, obviously, the armorer is talking about how, it's dangerous for the Mandalorians because, Veskar should be made into armor. They shouldn't be made into weapons. And so Mando tells the armorer, okay, let's go ahead and forge some armor for Grogu, because he's still really missing Grogu. I mean, he really wants to see Grogu, and the armorer is telling him, but in the Jedi training, they teach you to give up attachments, But then, of course, Mando says to the armorer, but that's the opposite of our creed. our creed is, we're loyal, and we think about others like that. We have those type of attachments. So what'd you think of that exchange, Burley?
Yeah, I did like that exchange, and it kind of sucks that he gets a spear, uses it for a little bit, and now it's gone.
Yeah,
Because this is all to explain why in season 3 starts, why he doesn't have this, why he doesn't have that. You kind of pick up on this because this is maybe about 15 minutes into the episode, and you're like, oh, is this just going to be a Mandalorian episode, or are we going to go to Boba Fett soon? Like,
yeah.
Because this is what I was kind of thinking as I'm watching this.
Yeah,
but it was nice to bring the armorer back and the other Mando. So we got that, and then I did like we got a little bit more lore for the Darksaber and the Mandalorians itself.
Right, the Purge.
Then when we got
the Purge,
Purge,
yeah,
and then we got to that fight where they fought, and he loses the ends up dropping the Darksaber. Pez picks it up and starts using it, and then he goes back to his knife. He kicks his ass with the knife.
Right.
And the armorer is like, if you need to train, you are fighting against the weapon. You and the weapon are not one.
Right.
You need to fight with the weapon. If you fight against it, you're dead.
Yeah, it keeps getting heavier and heavier, and he can't hold it. Yeah. So, yeah.
And then they go into the whole creed. Have you ever taken off your helmet, Pez? No.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? And then goes to him. He won't answer. He's not answering because he knows whatever he says, he's script. He says, no, I've never taken off my helmet, and it never gets revealed.
Yeah.
He's in shit. And then so after all that, they cast him out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's like these religious zealots, like I was saying earlier, it's just, it's a way outdated creed, and I think it's going to come back later on. I mean, because it's interesting how they talked about the history of Mandalorian in the sense of the Purge, but then, of course, you had the faction that were, traditionalists, like the armorer that would never take their helmets off. But then you have like Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan's name came up, of course, and she is, she's one of the, I guess you could say, the modernists in a sense. They're the modern Mandalorians in a sense. They take their helmets off, and they're, I think a part of the Civil War was over those two factions, so that was interesting how they were talking about that as well, and talking about Bo-Katan, and the armor had known about her, and that she had been in possession of the Darksaber. So, yeah, so that was interesting. And then those scenes where they show the Purge, and I mean, just completely obliterating the planet, that was, pretty cool CG effects and everything right there. But, so anyway, and Mando is like, how can I atone? How can I atone for taking my helmet off? It's like, I can't go back to Mandalore and go into the, into the caves or whatever, they're all gone now.
Go under the caves and drink from the water down there.
Right.
And because they're all dried up.
Yep. And so he's out of options. So he just takes off, takes his jetpack and gets up and leaves. And so I don't know if we're ever going to see the armor again, because it's just the armor and Paz Vizsla there. I mean, it's like there's only like 2 or 3 of them. I don't know.
I think they'll bring them back in season 3. I don't think they're going to have like, they're going to be in 3 episodes kind of thing. I think they'll bring them back for 1 episode.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But then, so he gets off the planet, and then he goes back to the good old character from season 1 and 2, the ship. I always forget her name. The girl with all the droids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Pelimato. Yeah, that's her name in the show.
Pelimato. Yeah,
Pelimato. Yeah, the character's name. Yeah. So
Pelimato.
Yeah, and it's funny how she was like, she said that she was like dating Jawas. It's like And she
gave her some
spoke
Wachini.
Jawan and everything too. Yeah. So, and those Jawas, yeah, they were able to get some parts, so that was pretty cool. But, yeah, it's interesting how, he wanted another Razor Crest,
Yeah.
and she's like, she can't get him a Razor Crest. So the best thing that she could scrap up for him was an old N1 Starfighter. So it's funny, Burley, how we get this little, ode to episode 1, the Phantom Menace of all movies,
Yeah. Like,
with the N1 Starfighters,
yeah, that I get, but you missed one little thing. I'm surprised you didn't cover the little because when he goes to go there, she's trying to save BD, one of her BD units.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those from Jedi Fallen Order? BD
Yeah,
Stim?
Jedi Fallen
Yeah.
Order. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she's trying to rescue that, and he saves her, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Wow, what an
he
entrance!"
shoots the
She's
thing.
a
Yeah, so
creature, swamp rat, or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
So
But yeah, so she reveals the ship, and he's like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, I know, so you wanted another Razor Crest?" She's like, "I didn't say that. I said I had something like it." And then
right.
she's like, "Well, I'll let the droids come back and give you your money." And then she
Yeah,
just tries wheeling them and dealing them. And it's
yeah,
like basically, yeah, go take a test flight. So he goes
yeah,
takes test flight with this thing.
yeah,
It's doing pretty good,
yeah,
and he's flying around. And then you've got the
yeah. The two,
rebel.
yeah, X-wing guys. Yeah, yeah,
X-wings. Yeah, I shouldn't say rebels anymore because the Empire's fallen at this
yeah.
point.
New
So
Republic. Yeah.
like New Republic TIE fighters,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll remember one of them if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen season 2 of Mando.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. He was the one on the ice planet there that was, chasing him. And so he had recognized his voice, Mando's voice, and he's like, "Have you ever flown a Razor Crest?" It's like, and so
Mando.
Mando's just gets that sub light speed button and just boop, it just takes off. Yeah, so
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he
and
wasn't going to have any of that.
I,
So
I love that, and they turn to each other. The young guy's like, "All right, we got to report this. You want to go down and fill out paperwork for a
all
while?"
that paperwork, yeah,
Work,
yeah.
yeah.
So
And he's like, "Yeah, no
yeah,
one wants to do paperwork in real
right,
world or the Star Wars."
right. So then he goes back to the to the bay there, and of course Finnick is finally we get something from the book of Boba Fett. Finnick is waiting for him, and has a bunch of Republic credits in a bag. It looks like, and she throws it to him, and it's like, Boba could really use your help, and then he just throws the bag back to her and says, "Hey, it's on the house."
Yeah.
Obviously because Boba and Finnick had helped him with Grogu. So obviously he doesn't want the money because he feels like, hey, I should pay you guys back for what you helped me with. And
Yeah.
but then he says, of course, after I go and visit my little friend, so he's going to go visit Grogu wherever that is. So obviously that's going to be in Mandalorian season 3. So that
Yeah.
basically opens up the possibility of seeing Luke Skywalker again in Mandalorian season 3. So if he's going to go visit Grogu, you know who Grogu's going to be with. So
Be with.
yeah, and maybe even Princess Leia as well. We might get some kind of CG for Princess Leia. Who
Or
knows?
Kylo Ren, a young Kylo Ren.
A baby Kylo Ren or something like that. Who knows? I mean, yeah. But okay, Burley. So that's where the episode ends. But anyway, let's
Yeah,
talk about this.
I
Yeah,
kind.
go ahead.
She also says like because he's asking her what the job is, and she's like, Boba needs muscle.
Yeah.
So and he's like, ooh.
Yeah, yeah. Like first he asks, what's the bounty, and it's like it's not a bounty. We need muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So let's talk about this before we end this episode. I mean, where is this show going, man? I mean, we've got 2 chapters left. We didn't see Boba at all in this episode. Are we going to get the Mandalorian back in, say, chapter 7? So say like he has already gone and visited Grogu and he's come back to provide the muscle. I mean, we were talking about this before we started this episode, that we don't know what direction they're taking this series. It's really strange. What do you think, man?
Yeah, we have no idea, and this is so hard to kind of just think and try and puzzle out what this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
are they gonna
what
make this
so, see,
go into
what
a season 2 or something?
Oh, this is going to be a season 2 because we're going to get so early on. Like we're either going to get he starts the battle with the syndicate next episode. Like the battle actually starts, and then
Yeah,
final episode, Mando comes in to save the day in
right.
that battle,
Yeah.
or we're just going to slowly get building and building until the last bit of episode 7, where
Mhm.
they're like, the battle has just begun.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for come back for season 2 when we actually do this. Like
Or they're
this was
gonna
a
do
nice.
or they're gonna do like what they did at the end of Mandalorian season 2 with Book of Boba Fett. Like at
Mhm.
the end of the Book of Boba Fett, they're probably going to transition and show you like a 2-minute clip of Mandalorian season 3, where
Yeah.
Mando is doing something. I mean, it almost seems like these two series are going to become just intertwined with each other.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like you're going to get Mando in Boba, you're going to get Boba in Mando. Because I mean, this series had a lot of promise at the very beginning. I mean,
Mhm.
where it started, the flashbacks and everything of how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, and how he was with the Tusken Raiders, and all of that backstory that we got, and then how he started to incorporate himself into this crime, area of Mos Espa. I mean, it had a lot of promise to it, man. But it's like now, after this chapter with only Mandalorian, which was excellent. I mean,
Mhm.
but it had nothing to do with Boba Fett. So it's like, yeah, I just don't know where it's going, man. And I don't know how they're going to end these next two chapters. I just don't, you know. So we shall see. But
Yeah, like we have no idea. Like as neat of it and cool this episode was, it kind of frustrates me because it's like you stop Boba Fett's story and just
right,
went to this.
right,
You could have given me 5 to 10 minutes of Mando and then brought me and bring him in and then go back to Boba Fett. Like
right,
she could have it could have showed him you could have given us enough him getting the new ship and then Finnick saying, coming to him and be like, "We need your help," and he says, "I'm in," and then went to Boba Fett and then
yeah,
continued on with Boba Fett. So that way we
right,
kind of get something. So that way when Mando comes in, we know, she talked to him. We showed us that. We got a
yeah,
couple minutes. You didn't need to spend a whole episode. Yeah, this is cool. You're hyping up season 3 of Mando, but
yeah,
you just killed the momentum for Boba Fett. Because I was
yeah,
really interested and I've been enjoying this week by week.
right,
Now I'm kind of like, well, we got 2 episodes left. Now I'm going to be watching the clock. Like you have like 2 hours at max to
yeah,
wrap this season up. And I'm
yeah.
having a feeling that they're not going to fully wrap this up. This is going to be like we're just getting to the battle
Okay,
at the
here you
end of
go,
season
Burley.
1.
Here you go, Burley. I'll throw this out there. Boba Fett dies in chapter 7.
I don't think they'd kill him off. I
You
don't
don't
think they'll
think
kill
so?
him.
You don't think they'll kill him off? Okay.
I don't think they're going to kill him off.
uh, I mean, because where does
And
he go? I mean, what does he do? I mean, you don't see him at all. I mean, we don't know anything about him.
mm,
Like for episode 7, 8, and 9. Obviously he's going to be much older at that point. But still, I mean, who knows? They might surprise us all in just chapter 7. This is the end because it's a book, right? A book
yeah,
has to end somewhere. So we
yeah.
we shall see. But
But
I don't know.
I
Well,
would
yeah,
I think they're gonna season. I think they're gonna season 2 us.
yeah,
I
probably.
that's just my thoughts. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we shall see. So, of course, we will be back next week with Chapter 6 and our reactions to that chapter on Star Wars Republic here on Patreon. So, of course, you can watch this episode in early access for the first 2 days on Patreon, here on patreon.com/thearena_podcast. And then, of course, it goes public after the first 2 days and up to our YouTube channel and all. So for all of you patrons, thank you all for your support. And we look forward to bringing you more exciting episodes of Star Wars Republic. And, of course, the podcast, The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, and our supplemental series, Extra Take. And pretty soon we're going to be starting our new series on Star Trek called Warp Factor 10. So we hope you can watch that as well when we bring those to you. So thank you so much, Burly. And we're looking forward to bringing you Chapter 6 next week. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of Burlyman Gaming. Take care, everyone, and may the Force be with you. And we shall catch you next week for the book of Mando Boba Fett, Chapter 6.
Mando Season 3, Preview 2.
Yeah.
And remember,
maybe.
everyone,
Yeah.
the Sith were right.
Yeah, right. All right. So take care, everyone. Peace out.
Hi.